So we know some friends who've been to all 63 national parks, and they rated Cuyahoga at the very bottom of that list. So we just visited it. Do we agree with their assessment?
Let's find out.
Quick question, be honest, when you think of Ohio, do you think of national parks? Probably not.
But here we are about to explore Cuyahoga Valley National Park. So is it really as bad as people say?
I guess when we say bad, it's in perspective, because all 63 national parks are pretty spectacular. Something has to be at the bottom of the list. Is Cuyahoga the one that should be at the bottom?
So where is Cuyahoga Valley National Park? It's located in northern Ohio, about 30 minutes south of Cleveland, and was a short drive from where we were staying in Ashtabula County. Before we get to Cuyahoga, though, we need to make our way from Finley State Park up to Thousand Trails Genesee Lake in Jefferson City near Ashtabula.
Every now and then Heather gets the urge to do a deep clean. Especially on moving days.
I mean, because you're like starting to clean stuff up and then you're like, everything is really disgusting. And I just need to like deep clean it all. And then when you get there, it's so nice to just put out your rugs and they're clean. And you're not having to work around dust and dirt and boogers and all the things.
Dust and dirt and boogers.
I do especially love a deep clean on a move day. We're leaving Finley State Park in Wellington, Ohio. We had a nice stay here. It's about, how long were we here for? 8 nights?
9, I think.
9? 9 nights. And really nice people, quiet. The nature center is really nice. They have a naturalist on staff who is very knowledgeable. He taught us all about little bugs and wood and plants around, and they had activities for kids, like building nesting boxes and fishing and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. So now we're heading up to Genesee Lake in Jefferson, Ohio, which is right on Lake Erie. It looks beautiful. We have some friends up there that we're meeting, and it's a Thousand Trails campground. Right, once we finally hitched up and left Finley State Park, we headed for Northeast Ohio. I had to just come on because we're in Milan, Ohio. Check it out. And this is the birthplace of Thomas Edison. Where would we be without Sir Thomas Edison?
In the dark ages.
We would be in the dark.
That's the doggy.
Coming up on a bridge. It looks low. We're gonna see if it's low or not.
Say the height on these.
Yeah.
What height is it?
It looks really low.
This part of the journey was us meeting up with our friends, the 50 Pies family. So we decided we were going to caravan with them on this trip to the northeast. We met them at Escapers Bash in February or January of this year in Lake Havasu. Check out Escapers Bash if you're looking to find community. We went to a winery, which was a really nice afternoon. Again, something you don't really think of when you think of Ohio is wineries, but there was a few wineries around. I'm not sure what people think of when they think of Ohio.
I was going to ask you, what do people think of when they think of Ohio?
Yeah, I think they just think
Buckeyes?
of, Cleveland.
I think of Buckeyes.
And Akron, like LeBron James.
Yeah,
the
okay,
Cavaliers, the Browns. Yeah. I mean, that's me, honestly.
Yeah, a sports dude.
The boys and I took an afternoon to visit Geneva on the Lake, and this is part of my exploring coffee shops in the US with my preschoolers experience that we've been running the last few months here. And it's kind of a throwback town. It was kind of a little bit tourist. I mean, not a little bit touristy. It was a lot a bit touristy. It was kind of nice because the boys and I found a nice little coffee shop and we went down to the lake and the boys just kind of ran around on the lakeside.
While David was out with the boys, I got a little zen time in, exploring the shores of Lake Erie in Ashtabula County. I'm on a little solo adventure this morning, going to Ashtabula Lighthouse in northeastern Ohio. We're stuck here in a drawbridge. Me and the mouse in my pocket. There's a drawbridge traffic jam.
Did you know that Ohio has the most covered bridges in the US? Neither did we. So we decided we couldn't visit them all because we were only there for a few days, but we did visit the shortest and the longest. Shortest covered bridge in Ohio.
Well, the last stop on my solo adventure to Ashtabula, Ohio is the longest covered bridge in America. The Smoling Gulf Bridge stretches an impressive 613 feet, while the Liberty Street Bridge is a tiny 18 feet. Talk about extremes.
Okay, so on to the important question. Is Cuyahoga the worst national park? Because one park has to be the worst. It's one of the newest national parks. It just became a national park in the year 2000. So you might not have even heard of it, which was kind of the case for us until we heard that it was terrible. And we thought, oh, we better go.
We have to go see it. All right, let's give it a fair shot. First things first, Cuyahoga National Park doesn't have the same fame like Yosemite or Yellowstone.
One thing Cuyahoga does have going for it is accessibility. So there's the towpath trail, which runs all the way up and down. It is a north and south kind of a long park, which is interesting. If you're biking or hiking, there's some really good options. So what makes everyone's experience of Cuyahoga probably quite unique is that there's kind of 14 different trailheads or experiences that are on the map. Which part of those 14 things that you see at Cuyahoga would leave you coming out with a totally different experience? So I think that definitely weighed into our friends who didn't enjoy the park. They didn't see ledges, they went to a couple other options. And you know, if you've seen 63 other parks, certainly you probably get park fatigue at some point as well.
That's true, yeah.
We didn't have time to visit all 14, so we just kind of picked 2 or 3 for the day we were there. And the one that we picked, which was Ledges Trail, actually turned out to be perfect for the boys because it was just a whole bunch of ledges. I mean, it's rock formations that had formed through ice ages over time, and it was basically created caves, you know, that have bats and crevices and stuff for the boys to climb on. And it was a really hot summer day, but it was all shaded in the forest. 88 degrees plus humidity today. It's not gross. I just mean the temperature is kind of gross.
Which way?
But it's kind of pretty here, isn't it?
This is the Ledges Trail.
Ooh.
But yeah, Ledges Trail was really, really neat. It was kind of like it kind of had a Slot Canyon vibe.
Look at this, like a secret
You
cave.
guys want to go first? Yeah, me too.
And it was nice that once you were actually in the ledges part, so the bit in between the rocks and not on the top of the rocks with the actual ledge, you could relax a bit. And with the kids, they couldn't go anywhere. You just knew they were right ahead of you and you could see them for long distances. So it was a good trail for the little ones. One thing that Cuyahoga Valley National Park has that is pretty special is a scenic railroad that you can hop on and take through the entire park.
Yeah, they have a hop on and hop off service, so you can hop on at certain stations with your bike or your e-bike to get to certain trails, enjoy the railroad. So that's a pretty unique option that you're not going to get at most parks. So obviously, railroads are cool, scenic railroads are cool. Taking your bike to different parts. Like I said, it's kind of a long and narrow park, so it's cool to just go from the far north part of the station to the south and see the park on the train, but then also do some biking or hiking.
So the big question is Cuyahoga Valley National Park the worst national park in the system? If you judge it by pure raw beauty of the area, then yeah, it's probably towards the bottom of the list. But if you're looking for a pleasant, local park, then I think that this is a must-see place to visit. Here's the thing, Cuyahoga Valley National Park is not trying to be a bucket list destination necessarily. It's not out there competing with like Grand Canyon or Glacier. It's more like a peaceful retreat for people who live in the region. You've got forests, rivers, some wildlife, and tons of easy trails. It's not dramatic, but it is pleasant.
Yeah, we had a good experience in Cuyahoga, and it's definitely not at the bottom of our list. There's a couple of other parks we can think of that are at the bottom.
And stay tuned, because we're going to rank all the national parks that we've been to so far and reveal who is at the bottom of our list coming up in a few weeks. So let us know what you think. Have you been to Cuyahoga Valley National Park? Been to Ohio? What were your impressions? Let us know in the comments below.
Next week, we're going to review Harvest Hosts, and we went to one of the most unique Harvest Host locations in the USA, especially if you have kids and you like dinosaurs.
And beer. And goats.
Not to be missed.